Okay, so let's get started. So as I told you, remember like agile, you use agile when cost is more important than quality. Okay, so you use waterfall if you think like quality is more important, because in there, quality is really good and you check. But here you're actually looking into the cost. Okay, cost. You just want a 6 month project. You're just squeezing it 1 month. So of course, quality may not be always good. So let's quickly. Okay. So agile. So what is agile? Agile is iterative and incremental process. It's an iterative and incremental process, and it has various sub-modules. Okay, so agile is pretty huge. Okay, it has if somebody says like in your company says I'm working in agile, that means it's pretty much high level. So we don't know what exactly they are into it. Okay, because agile has various sub-modules like Scrum. One of the most ceremonial form of doing in agile is Scrum, and the other is Kanban. Okay, Kanban is pretty simple. You just move your user stories from one point to another, and move it to. So Kanban is simple. And next you have like extreme programming. Okay, so extreme programming is like completely different thing. Okay, so there are many, other features too in Agile. So we'll be in this class we'll be discussing more about Scrum. Okay, Scrum is like Scrum is also like iterative and incremental process. So it is more into like ceremonial way of doing the work. Like you have this meeting kind of thing. You know, yeah, like project manager, uh, business analysts and testers, developers, managers, everyone gathers in one place and they want to discuss about this, all these things. Okay, so that is about the Scrum. Okay, but in other methodologies, we really don't have that kind of meeting or that kind of. Yeah, we do of course have meetings, and it's not that intensively you have it. But in Scrum, maybe I more into it. Okay, so let's get into terminology part. Okay, let's get into terminology. So before going into agile, before going into understanding more about the agile framework, we need to know about the terminology. Okay, so far we have we have talked about the user story, product owner, scrum master. We'll get to know like what exactly those terms mean. Okay, let's go one by one. Okay, Scrum team. So Scrum team is actually a team. Okay, so it's a team. Okay, there can be the Scrum team is actually named. Okay, normally they name up to whatever they want. Okay, but normally it can be like Scrum team 1, Scrum team 2, Scrum team 3. Okay, so that's a name. So the name can be different for different teams. Okay, so that teams that's called Scrum team. Okay, so Scrum itself is called a team. Okay, so that team consists of product owner. Product owner is business analyst in waterfall model. Okay, same people, same job, different terminology. Okay, product owner is business analyst. Scrum master is project manager. Development team, we have product developers, right? Java developer, web developer, HTML developer, Ajax developer, .NET developer, so on and so forth. Okay, so we have pretty much all kinds of development team. Okay, so product owner, again, product owner is actually business analyst. Here we call it as product owner. Scrum master, project manager, here we call it as Scrum master in Agile specifically. Okay, so we don't call it anywhere else. In Agile, we call it as Scrum master. Okay. Okay. So let's go to each one. Product owner. See, this product owner is responsible for maintaining the product backlog. Okay. Representing the interest. Okay. So, we go into the detail. What is the backlog? Okay. Product backlog. Um, Product backlog is a very high level requirement, right? It's a very high level requirement. So now the requirements, so the meaning, so why I said like very high level in product backlog. So the product backlog can be as high level as one line statement. Okay, it can be one line statement, but technically you cannot get complete information just in one line statement, right? So let's say you have this GMO online. You have this. We take it this easy here. We have this GMO online. So we don't know the features. What are the images? What are these buttons? We don't know. Let's say we don't forget about the GMO. We don't know. But no product owner came up with something. It's like design GMO online post. So that is the product backlog. Why? Because we don't know how many iterations it takes. We don't know how many sprint it takes. We don't know how many buttons it will be taking, how many images, how many characters, and so on and so forth. How many web pages? It's too much. So that's called product backlog. That means it's very high level requirement. Okay. Product backlog is something which is very high level requirements. It can be as complex as one line statement. As I told you, design GMO online project. We don't know what the web page is. We don't know what is buttons. We don't know where the buttons will be located. We don't know where the images will be located. We don't know. We know nothing. So that is product backlog. Okay. As a developer, as a tester, we cannot, analyze that one-line statement into HANA. That has to be explained and it has to get down a little bit, detail. Then it has to, jot it down in proper way. So that can be a product. That's an example. So I'm just giving you an example. Okay, don't take it as a granted. Product backlog is a very high level requirement. Okay. Okay. Now, let's go to the next topic. We have the Scrum Master. Okay, Scrum Master, Project Manager. You call Project Manager in Waterfall. We call Scrum Master in Agile. Same, same person, same job, different terminology. Okay, the terminology is different. Same job, this project manager, whatever the job duties will be, you'll be doing the same thing here too. Okay. So the person responsible for Scrum framework, making sure that it's used like, say, basically the Scrum Master. See, what's the major job of Scrum Master, right? It's a bridge between the developers and testers. Okay, Scrum Master. See, most of people don't know what's the use of Scrum Master. When you, when you go into the project, right? So they don't know what a Scrum Master is. So they are people, they know this is Scrum Master, but what are its responsibilities? What are the duties? They don't know. So what happened, right? So so I gave like an issue, okay, saying that to the Scrum Master, saying okay, so this has to be fixed, okay, and then my boss came and asked me, okay, why are you giving this issue to a Scrum Master? You have to give to the developers, okay. So I said, right, I mean, that's correct, but but the Scrum Master is a bridge between the developers and the testers. Because when you always go to developers may not respond every time because they might have their own work. They are busy with their own work. They may not respond every time. So when you reach a Scrum Master, they will escalate the issue. What exactly the issue is? Where the issue should be escalated to? Is it architecture issue? Is it a developer issue? Is it an automation issue? Is it a configuration issue? It's a middleware issue. We don't know. So the Scrum Master has to escalate that issue and to figure it out and give the right person to do to submit that defect or that feature to the exact person. Okay, so that's the one of the duties and responsibility of a Scrum Master. Scrum Master is a bridge between the developer and tester. Okay. Then let's come across like development team. So development team, we know like there are so many, so we may not have all the developers in one team. Let's say you are in the Scrum team. Okay, you are in one Scrum team. Let's say Scrum team 1. You'll be having like, let's say 3 developers, 2 testers, 1 Scrum Master. Okay, 3 developers, 2 testers, that's fine. 6 members, that's fine. We don't want more than 5 to 6 members. Okay, in Agile, we just want to have a small team, better, better productivity. Okay, so let's say you have 6 members, 3 developers, might be one, a ETL developer and 1 Java developer and 1 web developer. Okay, but you may require services which is other than that, because there is also Ajax. You have this, JavaScript. You have this HTML. So many things, right? So those developers may not be readily available in your team. So you need to take requests from the other team to solve your issue. If there is an issue of such kind, let's say JavaScript developer, you don't have the developer in your team, but you may take help from the other team, saying that, hey, this is the issue from this, and this is belongs to this one. Can you help me? Okay, so that is a job more for a Scrum Master. Scrum Master has to figure it out, which is a ready, readable person and authorized person to fix that issue. Okay, so that's the developer, and so here you don't have testers here. Okay, they're trying to reduce the testers. Okay, in Agile, so they want to remove these testers completely, but in a practical way, or even if they remove, so that is not going to happen, right? Because even if developer has to test an application or any software, okay, let's say if a developer has test, the developer tests in a business point of view, because he has all the requirements and he tests based on his point of view. So business, what is the business is asking, is he doing? That's it. That's simple. That's the job of a developer. But a tester tests user point of view. So as a user, am I going to use this? Am I not? Is this is this button working? Is that not? No. Is it this application this URL is working? Is it not? So it's tester test in a user point of view, and developer test. Even if developer wants to test an application, he will not be testing as user point of view, because he don't know. So he's not he's not specialized in that. He don't know the front end application. He just design the code and that's it. And he will test only the code. I told you, right? Unit testing or white boxes. He'll just test the code. That's it. He don't know what is front end. He don't know what is how does application should look like. He have no idea of that. So even though they want to remove this, they will have some one team or one guy in the tester, and he has to do this one. So even let's say even if your boss says that you need to come up with this, okay, so let's say your boss is saying to you that, okay, they hired you tester, and they said like, no, we don't require any more testers in Agile. Then you have to explain to them, saying that, okay, so we are working in Agile, right? We are working in Agile. So even if developer has to work as a tester, he or she will be only working as a business point of view. That means he will be having only the code and he'll be working with the code, that's it. But as a tester works as a user point of view, that is customer point of view. He or she has to go through all this application process, and he has to. So it may not be always efficient. It may not be very effectively when you're using developer as a tester. You need to explain to your boss. So whenever you say, so they might, okay, so this is the thing, because, developer might miss so many things. They don't know what is about functional, they don't know about what is STLC and so on things. They don't know all this. So that's about this developer and tester. Okay, so then you have this sprint. Sprint is time boxed unit. Okay, sprint is a time box unit, and it means like time, how much time. So it's measured in months. Okay, I'm sorry, not. Let's quickly check. So sprint, you have the sprint. Sprint is like time, like 30 days. Let's say we the time of each will take 30 days. There might be project which is 15 days. Okay, so one sprint that means 30 days. Two sprint, 60 days. So just an example. It's a time box unit. So measured of it means like 30 days. Let's say we'll take it as as a ease for the calculation will take is 30 days. One sprint, 30 days. Okay, there might be sprint of 15 days, 20 days. Okay, so every month a new product is going to release. So every month a new sprint. New sprint means new products. Okay, that's called sprint. Okay, so there is one more thing called like sprint backlog. Okay, this is like sprint backlog. So let's say we know about this product backlogs. We have discussed about this product backlog, right? It's a very high level requirement. It can be as complex as like one line statements, and we don't know what it's going to be and how it could be implemented. So on. We don't just one line statement like design GMO online. That's it. We don't know anything about it. We don't know any technical information. We don't know any information to move proceed with the development or testing. Once that product backlog gets into the next stage, that is sprint backlog. Let's say they have told okay, design GMO online. Then you have this 4. That means one product backlogs is divided into 4 sprint. That means it will take 4 months to deliver that. Okay, it's a 4 months to deliver that whole website. Okay, this. So we are thinking about this, right? This has these buttons, okay, and this page. Okay, so everything this will take like 4 months. This is like complete GMO online process will take 4 months. Why? Because it's one product backlog is classified into more 4, 4 months, or it can take more. We don't know based on the whoever the requirements. Okay, so they might increase or decrease based on the requirement. And each sprint will take 30 days. So each sprint, let's say we have this one web page, whole web page is about this, we're trying to order this quantity, and this takes like 1 month to design this whole application and test that. Okay, and then after 30 days you deliver this, so and so on. Again, you need to go to a second sprint, work for 30 days again, and third sprint and fourth sprint, so on. If it requires more, then you have to have more sprints. Okay, so that's about the sprint. And we have the sprint backlog. Okay, so let's get to this one. So you have these charts. Okay, so you have the sprint burn down chart, release burn down chart, and so on. Okay, so you have this lot of chart. And one of these we look at this chart. This is burn down chart, and you have this whole days. Okay, and this remaining amount of effort. Okay, so this green color, it is like ideal burn down and the remaining effort. Okay, so dark blue. So normally, so we don't have this ideally, right? Ideally, we don't have this direct green. So we have this option now. So ideally, it should be completed in this. So in a traditional way, this chart was supposed to be prepared by the Scrum Master. Okay, and they used to stick this into the walls and to show that normally the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, so they used to do, but now I mean it's not required because everything is has become online. So did you check the rally? So as I discussed you in the rally, you have this. You go to the reports. We already discussed about this, right? Various types of reports. So you have this iteration burn down, iteration. So these are like examples. So here we find all these reports here. Once you click on this, we don't get all this because Did you do it completely? Let's check over that. So then it gets updated once, let's say, iteration. Yes, story burn down, story burn up. So you see that one, right? So this chart is automatically, prepared. Story. Okay. So here you can get your own charts automatically designed. So you are not going to, see, in traditional way you used to use that big printers and print all these big charts. Now it's not required. Online you just put the story number. Okay, it shows up the story. Whenever is your start date and put this, and that graph is automatically plotted for you. So it's automatic. You're not going to do anything manual here. Okay. So okay. So this is how you can plot your graph. So this is like similar. Okay. So all these charts you can prepare automatically. I mean, there you don't have to do anything manually. You can just go rally and design by yourself. Okay, just click on that particular user story. This graph shows up for you. Okay. So the same way you have the sprint burn down chart, release burn down chart. Okay. Product backlog. Product backlog we discussed, right? A very high level requirement. And you have the sprint backlog and prioritize list of tasks to complete in sprint, because this backlog is classified into sub level into sprint, because you need to complete in with time, right? It's like the sprint is like 1 to 4 weeks. It's a time boxed. Okay. And there are more. I mean, just keep on getting increasing. You have one more stack. Impediment. So impediment, right? So impediment you call, so defects, normally in waterfall methodology you call defects, here you call impediment. So impediment is like something which is stopping you to do the work. Okay, it might be issue, it might be a defect, it might be application issue, it might be coordination, okay, it's anything. Okay, so that's called impediment. Anything which prevents you to do your work is called impediment. Okay. So any questions, so far in terminology? So these are all like basic terminology for agile. Any questions? Yeah, it's a very good question. Okay, so what is a Scrum? It's a framework, software development framework. So framework is kind of like this is more related to management perspective. See, the way they wanted is like based on management perspective. So framework is like the way how the work should be done. Okay, the framework here, like how they want to do is like the work, the process of work, first development, then testing, then bug fixing and so on. So that's the way you read. So that's the framework here. Okay, so that is more related to management perspective. So how you want to design that uh, process of doing work, the process. See, this agile scrum, so this is nothing related to software. Okay, this is actually the framework. That means it's a process of doing the work. It's a process. Nothing to do with software or tool and nothing like that. It's just a process. And the other question is, what happens to when the work it didn't get done on the sprint one? Could they take it to sprint two? See, not all. Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, not all might be completed in sprint one. Okay, so there might be some defects. Okay, let's say you have opened some defect which was not fixed in sprint one. So what they'll do is that defect. Sometimes they make that defect into a user story and put it to the next sprint. So they will continue into the next sprint. So that's not always okay. I mean to say that will be the hard and fast rule. But thing is we don't get every time most of the time sprint one will be completed. So you don't have issues in sprint one. But if in case if you have it will not be more than one or two, max two. I don't in my career I never see more than two. You don't have more than two defects that gets converted into user story and and that is getting fixed. Okay, because we work in small team. Okay, we work in small team 5 to 6. That's it. We don't want more teams. So if you have more more number of people, that gets it's hard to manage. So we have the 6 people. Yeah, if you open one defect, one impediment, okay, that is not fixed in sprint one, and sprint one we want to close that sprint because we want to deliver that project, and so that defect or that impediment is converted into next user story and is followed in the next sprint. They will add a new user story for that defect. Okay, yeah. I forgot to explain about this user story. So you have this user story too. User story is again a requirement. User story, you see this? So this is requirement. So this is user story is technical requirement. So you have technical information saying that okay, this button is there. Now you need to test that button. It has technical information, but in backlog, we never saw any technical information. Just saw okay, test this application. I mean, design this application, design GM online. But in this, you have some amount of technical information so that you can work on it. So it might work. Developer might develop and test it. So user story is a requirement. No more high level requirement. High level requirement is product backlog. This is the detailed environment, detailed requirement. Okay, so that's the user story. So we have seen this user story, right? We have see here this is user story. This has technical information. So go to the user stories. This is the user story. Okay. Any more questions? So let's move to the next. Want to just check one thing. See here the responsibilities and duties of Scrum Master. Okay. So sometimes those guys may not know. So they have this people working for Scrum Master and product owner and tester, developer, so on and so forth. But they don't know their responsibilities. That's the problem. Okay, they don't know. So here you see this. Okay, so helping the Scrum team to avoid remove impediments to this process, whether external. So this is the duty of the Scrum Master. So that may not be always the case. Okay, So Scrum Master, that's one, scenario we are talking about. That's good. I mean, that is one scenario. Some cases Scrum Master will, give you user story and you need to work, because Scrum Master is kind of technical kind of guy, not more technical, but, it's kind of, he knows some stuff in technical, he knows some stuff in, management. So this guy is like, if he's more into technical, okay, so he will hand it out user stories, okay, test this, test that, okay, it's good, but not always. I want to let you know, is not always that is the situation, okay. Sometimes your boss might give you the work. Your boss, like manager, is not related to any scrum master or something. He's a manager. Is nothing related to this. He or she might, give you the work saying that, okay, we need to test this because this has come to a different team and, from a different, altogether different thing. And this is assigned to our team. So they give you work. Okay. So they might assign you this user story. Okay. To you. So they will assign a user story to you. And there is also a situation where you need to create your own user story. Oh, I'm sorry, not user story. You're not creating user story, right? So the user story is being created by the, okay, product owner. But here, okay, so my sense was like to create your own task. Okay, you need to see one user story there you, but the user story is again, it's high level. You need to classify it. Okay, you need to have like 4 types of testing. You want to do what kind of testing in this. So you want to create tasks if you want to organize your work. Okay. Okay, sorry, actually I misspelled. It's not actually user story. I want to make it clear. It's actually the task. We don't create user story. It's the very first thing, right? So, task is a group of test case. I mean, I don't want to like view in that point of view because, yeah, it can be group of test case. A task may consist of like 10 test case, and the second task may consist of 20 test case. Yeah, you can take it that. Okay. But the way I use for the task is to organize my work. Let's say, I have this user story. Okay, so my Scrum Master is given the user story. And let's say I need to perform various testing. Let's say I need to perform functional testing. I need to perform regression testing and integration testing and system integration testing. So all the 4 things are completely different. So I need to create my own test cases. So 4 test cases for 4 different tasks. Okay. So yeah, you can take it as group of test cases is the task. Yeah, that is, you can take that. But I use task more for a organize my work. Just you want to organize, right? Because too much work, you get too much work, you don't know which user, which test cases does that belongs to. If you don't know which task it is, right? You might create like some 20, 40 to 80 test cases. Okay. But which test case belongs to which? Because you're working on functional, you're also working on regression. Again, you're also working on integration. So now you don't know which test case is to which and which is, so that's a very confusing, way. So I use task to organize my work. That's, but yeah, that's also true. Task is a group of test cases. That's true. Okay, so yeah, I actually misspelled it. We don't create any, user story. User story. If someone says to create user story, then you need to be really, quick to answer that, saying that okay, as a tester, we don't create any user story. But if you want to create, yeah, of course, I want to know the requirements. I want to know what are the documents, what are we working on, which project we are working on. Okay, so all those things we need to know on the hand. So we cannot create it as simple. We cannot create a user story by ourselves. There's a lot of coordination with the developers, lot of knowledge and applications, you need to know a lot of things. So, you know, so this is how, Scrum team to avoid removing impediments. So Scrum Master always is one of the duty, to remove the impediments. So if someone's, if you are assigning this issue to Scrum Master, and Scrum Master suddenly reports that to your manager, saying that, hey, this guy is, assigning to me, so because they don't have knowledge, okay, so they don't know what is this, suddenly your boss calls and saying, why are you assigning to Scrum Master? Then you need to show this, as per my experience, as per my knowledge, Scrum Master is actually to remove the impediments. Okay, so that's a major responsibility of a Scrum Master. So then they will not say anything, or you can just, tell them this, URL of the Wikipedia saying that, hey, look at this. This is the job of the Scrum Master. So, okay, so they'll never let ask you questions like that. Okay, and okay, so let's go to. Okay, you have this, okay, let's move to this meetings. Okay, now you will be having various meetings. So Agile is actually full of meetings. Only just be attending meeting. Work is hardly. So here this sprint planning. Okay, so sprint planning. Okay, in this sprint planning, you will be, so it will be the meeting like, it will be like 3 to 4, actually 4 to 6 hours meeting. So it doesn't go beyond that, but like, 4 to 6 hours meeting. And they discuss all of the user stories. Okay, all those, product backlogs are classified into sprints, and that sprint is now classified more into user story. So they will discuss each and every user story, what has to be done and what has to be should be into the next sprint, or it has to go in this sprint or next sprint. Okay, so all this will be discussed in the sprint planning. Okay, so in sprint planning session, product owner, Scrum Master, and developers, okay, all the developers related to user stories and all the testers related to will be gathering at one point, or have this meeting and phone call, or at the desk, office desk, something. So they'll be having this meeting and discussing all this information about how we are supposed to move the sprint. Okay, so be prepared for the sprint planning. So there will be sprint planning, and they'll make sure they'll make sure that your lunch time is they'll not have your lunch time. Okay, so it will be like something around 10 to 2, 10 to 3, so such kind of timings. Okay, so be prepared for this. And there is also one more like this, not here, this like spring grooming session. Okay, there is also spring grooming, where you actually this is also like similar to sprint planning session. Okay, whatever you have not discussed, or whatever it's ahead of something, you discuss in this sprint grooming session. Okay, we have these two things because sometimes the user story might be large, or requirement might be large. They want to split it down. Okay, they want to split it into further detail levels. In that case, we need to. But otherwise, one is good. Sprint planning. Okay. So in this, you discuss, like, it's kind of voting session, right? You have this, like, let's say they are discussing about one user story, right? One user story, and suddenly developer says like 5. They say like 5. That means 5 days. Okay? So Scrum Master says no, that's not possible. We don't have that much time. We cannot take this 5 days. That means it includes 3 days of development and 2 days for testing. Okay, that's what it means by 5. Okay, that's testing is included. Okay, so we say no, that doesn't work. We don't have that much time. Take it 3. Said no, it's not possible because we need to coordinate with the other team. Okay, and this is not yet released yet. We need to check up the code. We need to touch all the codes in the Java. We need to check all the codes in the JavaScript. We need to also work on Ajax. A lot of work is there. So we cannot, work in 3 days. 3 days is not good. It's no one. So okay, so then they fix it for fun. So that's how that brainstorming works in sprint planning. Okay, that's how they decide the time of for development and testing. Okay. But here in Dali we have this in hours. So don't worry about it. Like similar way of doing. So here they calculate in hours. Okay. 10 hours. Okay. 10 hours. Okay. Here now I have discussed about this days. You can also take it as hours. Just in hours. Okay. So we have this next. You have the daily scrum. So daily scrum is like this is 15 minutes time box unit. That means, see what we'll discuss in this, right? We will discuss these 4 things. What have you done yesterday? What are you going to do today? Okay. What are you going to do tomorrow? What are the impediments? These are all 4 things they will be discussing. And it is like, 15 minutes. It should not go more than 30 minutes. So it takes more than 30 minutes, that means you are doing something wrong. It is to be only with, 15 minutes. You see this? So this is like, sprint, scrum, daily scrum. So it's a meeting. It's again a meeting. So it's nowhere related to sprint planning. It's irrespective of sprint planning. Once sprint planning is started, this will be even continuing even if new sprint planning keeps on coming. Okay. So not related to sprint planning. This is daily scrum. This meeting, okay, so we'll be there. So let's say you have this product owner, scrum master, and developer, and tester. All this will be gathering and having the discussion about what have you done yesterday, what are you going to do today, what are you going to do tomorrow, and what are the impediments that is stopping you to do the work. There's 4 things that will be discussed in daily scrum. So this daily scrum is a daily meeting, irrespective of sprint planning. Okay, and let's move to the next. Any questions so far in these 2 meetings? So this is basically we have like 3 meetings, 3 to 4 meetings. Okay, let's say 4 meetings in Agile. Every month we will be having at least, sprint planning is every month. Sprint planning is every month, not daily. Daily scrum is daily, 15 minutes daily. And this is also like every month, review and retrospective meeting. So next we will discuss about review and retrospective meeting. So what you discuss in this? So you discuss like, what went good, what didn't went good, how can we improve in what we didn't get good. Okay, there's 3 things important we discuss. Okay, what went good, what didn't went good, and how can we improve in that. So we keep on need to increase in Agile, right? Improve in Agile. So how easy we can make, how easily we can fix the issues, how easily we can, make the work easy for everyone. Okay, so that's what you discuss in sprint review and retrospective. These 3 things. Okay, so these 3 are the meetings, 3 to 4 meetings. Sprint planning is monthly, daily scrum is daily, retrospective is monthly. So at the end of the sprint, so the start of the sprint is sprint planning. Okay, at the end of the sprint is review and retrospective. And this daily scrum continues irrespective of any other sprint. So we'll be having a lot of meetings here. In waterfall, you don't have that much. At the max, you have this. One meeting that is for the how the you're going to move the work. And sometimes you might have this daily, weekly call. Okay, normally you used to have this weekly call. Okay, so that was easy. But now here, you are reporting every day, almost every day, except weekends. Like if you're working weekends, then maybe they want to report even that sort. Okay, so almost every day will be reporting this. This is, but here in this meeting, okay, all the meetings, your boss, your manager doesn't appear unless he and she is a technical guy. Let's say you're a technical guy from the developer who coordinates all the way from the um, right from the development to middleware, and the middleware to the production to the testing. All this he gets coordinated. He's a boss. Then he might be eligible for these sessions planning. Daily scrum. He might not have that much time. Review and retrospective. Okay. So otherwise, your boss is never included in this, and he or she is not to be included because it's not their job to because he or she is not technical in that, because this is more for a technical point of view. Scrum master is a technical, so all this is hosted by the Scrum master. All this sprint planning, daily Scrum, and review and retrospective is hosted by Scrum master, and he or she will be taking notes. All this, how we are supposed to move, and what are the more impediments that need to be addressed. Okay. Any questions so far? That is correct. The work is intense in agile, and and of course you'll be having more. You need to be ready to take more stress because things move pretty fast. Okay, things move pretty fast, and you need to catch up that phase. Okay, you'll be moving. 1 month, one product delivered. Next month, next product delivered. Sometimes it's like 15 days. You need to work 15 days and deliver that. Not that I mean like you might also may or may not work in the weekends, but you need to deliver that, and that stress will be on to you that okay, you need to complete this by weekend. No more extra time. You whatever lunch, forget about the lunch. Complete this. Let's take lunch and dinner at once. Okay, so all these things. So you need to be catch up to that phase, and you need to deliver this because this agile is still new, and people are still learning in this, so they don't know properly to organize this because this agile is you need to organize more. Okay, you need to really need to organize, like if you are lacking some if you're lacking some testers or developers, you need to have this um, same page. They have to meet to the same page, and they need to work. So that's organization is not good in the corporate level, but they're still learning. They're still learning, and they still have improved a lot, but there still need to be improvement. So agile is much more fast paced environment, and you need to catch up with that, and you will be having a lot of work too. Okay, in agile you will be having a lot of work, and you need to complete fast. Okay. So at the same time, you also have to maintain that quality. Okay, so because testing, okay, you need to make sure there's no bugs. Okay, because again, if there is a bug and someone else catches that bug in production, so they will catch your neck. They will not catch the developer because developer jobs is done. It's done developing. It's not my job to fix an issue. But yeah, if you open some defects, yeah, I'll fix it. But it's not my job to open an issue and But if some developer catches that bug, then it will be right from your boss to you. Okay. So let's take one traditional. So this is a traditional way. So this is all not required because in Rally we have all this in set. You see this. So let's quickly check in Rally. So you have this, user story, right? In this user story, you have this defined. So D means defined, P means in progress, okay. C means completed, A means accepted, okay. D is defined when you define it. This has for user story, test cases, tasks, and all of them, okay. And these also have these iterations, okay. So you go, iterations have different own child history, and it will work in a similar way what we have in what I use. Okay. So here you haven't defined once this user story is defined. So that means it's only defined, it's not in progress. Once it is checked in progress, you need to start testing. Okay. When user story is in progress, it means you need to start testing. And once it's done, you coordinate with developer or mostly product owner saying that, hey, I've completed this testing. What does product owner does is checks into completed. Once they verify all this information is correct, they submits this. They submit, product owner submit to their manager or their respective department, and then it's accepted. Okay. So they will do their coordination work, and they will keep on accepting. So these are the phases. Okay, so here it's not simple. Here it's a little bit traditional way. Okay, so you have this in the left side. You see this stories. That means user stories. These are long list of user stories. And you have this to do. Okay, that means you're working on that. In progress. Okay, once you complete some of the time in that it's moves in progress. And then testing. Okay, and then it's sprint ends. So testing cannot start once the development is completed. Development has to complete to start testing. You cannot start testing before the development is completed, right? It's not possible. So first sticky note, let's say this is a blue sticky note, right? First sticky note is pulled up by the developer saying that, okay, I'm working on this 3 days. Let's move that sticky note with in progress. 3 days, it completed 2 days and said, okay, now I'm done. So this blue sticky note goes to sprint. Now, since it's completed, tester picks up their sticky notes and starts, testing on that. Okay. And once this testing is done, again, to do in progress testing and then sprint it. So that's how, you can complete each and every sticky notes one by one. Yes, all this is discussed in the meeting called. Let me discuss about this meeting. Right? Daily Scrum. So all this is discussed in this daily Scrum meeting. That's right. Every day, daily, and that meeting we are discussing about this daily Scrum meeting. You see this? This is what we will be discussing about. So in this we will be discussing about what have you done yesterday, what are you going to do today, what are you going to do tomorrow, and what is stopping you to do your work. That's called impediment. Okay. So this is from the daily Scrum meeting. This is discussing the daily Scrum meeting. Okay. So these are too many user stories. That's not good. I mean, you don't have agile, so you don't want to have agile more than 6 to 7 members. Okay, 6 members is good, 5 members is better, and you don't want too many members clogging into one agile and creating chaos, because agile is still it's a fast-paced environment. It's very fast-paced, and you don't want to clog a lot of people into it, and because a lot of people creates chaos. So you don't want like 6. If you are having like 6 members, it's good. If you have more than 6 members, better create another team. Scrum 2, assign them the work. If you have more than exceeds more than 16 in that, again create a Scrum 3, again Scrum 4, so on. Better to create a team, because you want to do lot amount of work in small chunks amount of time. You don't want too many people doing the same thing, with these many user stories. So this is not a very good idea, having these many user stories in one agile. In one Scrum team. This is not always a good idea to have this, these many user stories. You have this 5 user story, that's good, and 5 to 6 user story and 6 people. Unless they are small and very easy. Okay, otherwise, I mean, I would not recommend that many user stories for one thing. Okay. Any questions so far? This is pretty much about Agile. Let me quickly check if there is another slide for Agile. So, so this is like process. Okay, I explain you the process. Right? Let's quickly check the process. This is the process. You have this product backlogs, there's very high level requirement which you don't know any technical information in that. Then you divide that work into 4 sprints. That means, business says like, no, we have to complete this in 4 months. That's it. You know more than that. Then when you divide that, each chunk of amount of work should be completed in 30 days. That 30 days is, each chunk of work is completed in 30 days based on the priority and moves into the next the product. So that's how this agile. So this is like, kind of agile way of doing this work. Okay. So right, we have so many methods in agile. So we discussed about the Scrum. The Scrum is more more famous, more used actually, more used in the corporate environment than any other methodology. So we'll discuss about Kanban too. Kanban, just to give you a glance, maybe in the last class we'll just go just have a just glance on that. How does the Kanban looks? Okay. It's easy, not that complicated as Scrum, because Scrum because too many people and too many kind of meetings and a lot of meetings and a lot of talking and a lot of things. Okay, but Kanban is not that much really, but still we can discuss about that in the last class. Okay, so here's the main job is to remove impediments. Someone asks for you, the Scrum Master. Sometimes your boss may ask, why are you giving to the issue to the Scrum Master? Because they don't know. Okay, trust me, you are the technical guy. Even with experience or without experience, you are the technical guy. So you have to make understand your boss, because your boss may not be always a technical guy, except that's really experienced in developing or really experienced. Okay, there is no technical guy for testing. Okay, unless a developer, they might be really experienced because they might be working on really a lot of projects and developing an experience, developing various applications and various softwares and various tools. So they might have some idea on that. Okay, so they may not really know, because the way the team is moving, or they have really shifted a new methodology. Let's say they are working on a waterfall and suddenly they move to agile and Scrum. So they don't know the really responsibilities of Scrum Master or developer or tester. In that case, you need to make them understand, saying that okay, so this is the job of a Scrum Master. So it's to remove impediments, right? I mean, that's that's the job. If they don't do their job, then you have to tell them, like you need to check with your manager, saying that hey, this is their job. Okay, helping the Scrum team is their job, and to remove these impediments. If they don't do it, then who is the right person? Who is the person who I can approach so that they can escalate this issue? See, because when you approach a developer with an issue saying that, hey, I don't have this time, I don't, they might upright say you, saying that I don't care, I don't have time for you. Okay. So in that case, your boss won't help you with this. So it's not his job to escalate this impediment. There you have to go to the Scrum Master saying that, hey, I believe this is issue. Okay, I believe this is an issue. This should be I checked with the guys and said they're busy, but this should be fixed in 1 week because this project is going to the next release by next week, and we don't have time. Can you please escalate this issue to the developer? And there, Scrum Master coordinates with the developer and coordinates with other people, with architect, and so on. They have to fix this. Not exactly fix, they have to coordinate with them and assign to them, and they have to come up with some scenarios, or they want to fix it, or they want to put it to the next release or next sprint, whatever, it's up to developers. Okay, that's why main job is to remove impediments. Okay, so it's typically 5 to 10 people. 6 people is good, 5 people better. The less people, the better productivity. We discuss about various meetings. So you can have this slide which is there in the Google Drive. So I hope everyone have access to the Google Drive. You can check back this slide. Okay, let me quickly show you where exactly this slide is. Let me close this session. Here you have this, go to the directory number 26. We have these slides. All these slides are there in the directory number 26. Okay, so all this agile methodology, all those things are there. So you can check in and see this share drive. Directory number 26. Okay, UA class November. So we can check back here. Any more questions? Any questions? Yeah, go through that. You can just look into the slide, and so tomorrow we'll discuss about this. So tomorrow, one more test management tool that I'll be giving you on HPALM. Just make sure it's working or not. Okay, so we'll discuss about HPLM. That's similar to Rally. So if you are comfortable with Rally, it's good, but don't get addicted to the tool. That's what the whole point of my class is. Don't just get addicted to the tool. Okay, now I know Rally, I'll be using only Rally. Doesn't work that way, because you don't know what tool you'll be using at the client. Okay, might use Rally, they might not use Rally, they might use something, some foreign tool, we don't know. Okay, and they might again change it to, okay, so they might using one tool and they are migrating that tool into another tool. So let's say Jira, they want to use Jira now. So you're like, so far it was good, now they are trying to move. So it's up to them. So it might have so many things happening with the client. Okay, so don't get addicted to the tool. Just understand the process. Okay, understand the process. Okay, so if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? Okay, thank you guys.